It's a rainy day, so I'm about to do a bedside review of the airsoft gun I got yesterday. Alright, so this is the Maple Armory Marauder. The Marauder is the variant with the polymer receiver. Let me get some more light. The Marauder is the variant with the polymer receiver. You can see the Maple Armory branding. Anyway, you can see the Maple Armory branding. It comes with all the basic essentials. You got your mag. It came with a little bonus here, actually. It looks like it is a front hand grip. So that would be nice. Comes with a black muzzle. This is permanently bonded. So there is that. You have to use some heat. You know, the usual methods to remove the orange tip off your gun. Looking at it, I know there is probably a barrel unjammer somewhere. I might have actually taken it out of the box already because I had to open this initially yesterday. We have an orange. My cat is fighting for my attention right now. An orange carry bag for the gun, and then a muzzle cover, all with the Maple Armory branding. This one actually doesn't have any branding on it, but it's nice. Watch this, watch this. So it came with a few nice little patches, a white patch, a black patch. It goes with any kit. And yeah, let me get a battery in this this thing and see what it is. In the box, it does say a Chrono 310 with 0.3 BBs. I do happen to have 0.3 BBs, so I will be putting that to the test with a little Chrono. Alright, so I set myself up a little makeshift Chrono station here. And I would like to say I did... Here, let me see if I can get that. I did end up finding the jamming rod. It was just under the, like, deep under the styrofoam. So yeah, that was in box. Also that was in box that I had taken out is an actual sizable bag of 0.25 gram BBs. This is really nice because 2.5 grams is the lowest recommended weight for playing outdoors for most people. It's a really good weight. So yeah, like a 0.25 gram BBs, they're just really nice. Great weight, pretty good. They look like you're running the mill. I do like the amount that they give you. It will be. Let me see if there's a weight on this bag. Yeah, they say 2,000. So yeah, that would be a couple of high cap mags. That's like what, 10? Yeah, about 10 to 13 high cap mags. So yeah, that's a pretty good amount of BBs to get someone started. And this is all the stuff that just straight up came with the gun. So they do have it where when you're ordering the gun, you can bundle it with extra mags, extra BBs. I have a ton of M4 magazines. I have a ton of BBs. So I didn't go with that option. They also offer to ship batteries to you. So I'm gonna get a battery in this gun and at least chrono it for its consistency. I got the CTR stock option. It's very nice. It does have a little bit of swivel, but these guns are made with aftermarket compatibility in mind. So if you don't like the swivel that came with the stock you have, you can easily get any stock off of airsoft retailers and, you know, pretty much get a better stock that fits. It does a swivel. Also, there is a little shimming that you can do to reduce stock swivel, but I won't be going over that. You can probably Google better guides than I can give you. Right. Okay, and this is it. The front flip up rear sights are actually pretty solid. There are that like good plastic looking stuff, so you know, probably not the best sights, but easy to remove, and you can put whatever scope or red dot that you want on them. So the first thing I'm going to be chronoing with is, I think, these 3 O's. As far as I know, the manufacturers for BBs aren't that diverse, so odds are these 3 O's are pretty much the exact same as the ones that they tend to have chronoed with. Putting them into a speed loader here. Only need a couple of shots, so probably 20 to 50 BBs will do me well. I'm going to load it into the magazine that came with the gun, so that my test results are as consistent to what they would have been testing with, because I assume they would, you know, test and chrono their guns with the mags that they give you. So the magazine goes in really nice. It doesn't have a lot of wiggle. Yeah, actually it has a little bit of wiggle, but yeah, goes in pretty solid. So far, I am good and impressed with this gun. So I'm gonna shoot a few 3.0 rounds through this chrono, and then show you what it chronos at. So the chrono is reading about 336 to it looks like the highest one I got was 342. So that's a 4 or 342.9, so call it 343. That would be about a 7 FPS variation. You know, I've seen tighter groupings, but this is a stock gun, bone stock. It was 200 US. So yeah, like for bone stock gun, this is really good. One thing that I'm pretty sure my phone doesn't pick up well is that the gun itself sounds really nice. Like if you custom built and retro arms CNC gearbox used all retro arm parts in it so that your tolerances stack as perfectly as possible, and then like shimmed it for hours and got the perfect shimming, right? So perfect tolerances, perfect shimming. It would sound better than this, but this sounds pretty damn close to that. So, and for a stock gun, I've definitely heard way worse. Like, it definitely sounds really good compared to, like, I don't know, your $150, your $200 Lancers that you see people running around with. I would say it even sounds better than a lot of your G&Gs in the same price range. So, yeah, because at $200, it's on the high expend of entry-level pricing as far as airsoft goes, but it is still very accessible for beginners. And so far, I would recommend this as a first gun. Now I'm putting some 2.0 BBs in this mag, and these are just your cheap ass BBs. When you don't know anything about airsoft, you get like 3 bottles of them, and then you realize that you never want to use 2.0s anyway. So let's see what it chronos at with a 2.0. Okay. And this is what the chrono was looking like. Here, let me see if I can get that on camera. Yep. So this is what the chrono was looking at with 4 O's. It looks like we have a 389.7, so call that 390 to 392. That's a 2 FPS deviation with the .2s. That is the consistency I like to see from guns. I wish it had that consistency with the heavier BBs, as most people... Alright, so we're back because my phone decided to just stop recording because I ran out of space. I will never forgive Samsung for getting rid of the SD card slot and following Apple with that. But you know, Samsung usually likes to copy whatever it can get across the cheapest. And we still buy their phones, so nothing's about to change. So, as I was saying, yeah, the consistency is really nice with the .2s, and that's the consistency I would like to see with a heavier BB. But that is generally the range of consistency that I see on most people who work on their guns internally, unless they have a lot of experience. So now I'm going to chrono, well, re-chrono. I didn't realize my phone disconnected, but I'm going to chrono with these .25s in the mag and see what we're getting with that. So let's see what we can get here. So the chrono reads, I'll show it to you guys here, but the chrono reads 150.7, that looks like the lowest, to 152.8. Again, we have that exact 2-foot deviation, so maybe it might actually just be my 3.0s. My 3.0s might just be very, very inconsistently weighed. Brand new pack, a bit disappointing, but they are kind of cheaper 3.0 BBs, not from any, like, they're not like VFC BBs or anything. So yeah, that might explain why the deviation was so large on the 3.0s and not on the 2s and 2.5s. 2.5s is what I normally run because I am cheap and really hate trying to afford heavier BBs. The only time I really use heavier BBs are on my very hot builds. So yeah, I use 2.5s. I would be very happy with this FPS. So that's what we're currently dealing with. I would absolutely recommend this gun so far. I don't know if I was already talked about like the comparison of different guns in its price range, but yeah, for $200, this is really seeming like a good value. Looking up Maple Armouries, though, the way I found them was I had a friend who was getting into airsoft, and I literally just Googled what is the best gun out of box, right? And then you get a bunch of recommendations, and you know, you see SEMA Plats a lot, you see a bunch of things, and I saw a really glowing recommendation of Maple Armouries way back in that was written way back in like 2020, right? And this was like maybe mid 2023. So I looked them up, saw that they built their guns for aftermarket part compatibility. In fact, the internals on all of this, it's a 13:1, and it's made out of all aftermarket parts internally, and it has complete compatibility with any aftermarket part that you want to throw into this that's compatible with V2 gearbox. It has a quick change spring system, like a real quick change spring system that is easily accessible through the stock. So if this is too hot for your normal field, let's see, I'm getting 1.43 joules. So this would be a 20-foot engagement at my local field. Shout out All Patriot Airsoft. But yeah, like this is a wonderful gun so far, and I really like what the guys at Maple Airsoft Supply were doing. The only thing that I would kind of you know, criticize is they didn't have a lot of availability. They like leading up when I first looked into the gun and wanted to get one for my friend and myself, um, they were out of stock, and they continue being out of stock. And they said, "Oh yeah, I actually emailed them, and they were like, yeah, we'll get stock in April of 2024, right? April 2024 rolls around, no stock. Next month, no stock, right? Their website was actually like just stuck, where it's like, oh yeah, we got shipping, it should be available at this date. I think it was like somewhere in midsummer, right? That date rolled by, and it was just stuck there up until December, when they were finally gave us some new updates about where their supplier was with the receivers and builds. So yeah, but this gun does have a option to have a Leviathan MOSFET installed in it. I didn't get that option. I thought it was too pricey. And I actually prefer pre-run MOSFETs. So if I wanted a MOSFET or a programmable MOSFET in here, I would install a pre-run myself. However, it does default come with a MOSFET. It is 11.1 LiPo ready, which is what I have in this gun right now, what I'm chronoing with. Yeah, the trigger feels really, really good. The fire selector switch has a nice stiffness. And speaking of the fire selector switch, we're going to turn that all the way to auto and just do a little auto test just to waste these 0.2 gram BBs that I have here. Hopefully my backstop can catch the BBs, because it is 13-1, so it will have a good fire rate. Alright, so it looks like in my initial burst, I got a high of 21.7 rounds per second, which is very, very nice. It is what you would expect from a standard 13-1 gear ratio gearbox. Nothing being short stroke, nothing crazy going on. Just good old 13-1 slapped in a gearbox. So I am very happy with that result. And perhaps in a future video I'll be able to get a video of its accuracy and its groupings at a range. Because I'm indoors and my room is small, I can't really give you groupings. But yeah, the gun is really, really nice. Aesthetically speaking, it has the Magpul logos. Here, I can move my phone off my little perch here. Yeah, it has the Magpul logos here. Has that nice handguard. Magpul on the CTR stock. Nice little green hop-up unit. Out of box, it was actually hopped really nicely when I did test it outside last night. But again, video. You know, that's his hop-up, rotary style hop-up. Nothing crazy, nothing special. It does actually have a magic receiver pin, where it's a pin that is kind of variable in diameter. So you can pull this pin and literally fit it in almost any other lower. That is really nice to have. That is really nice to have. I've had replicas where I kind of got them secondhand off of people, and yeah, they were not in the best condition, and like I would have to replace receiver pins, and I would like run them out the field, and the receiver would be coming loose. So yeah, but as far as this goes, this is a very solid gun. You have a black muzzle brake. I know a lot of people like that. I will say, as soon as you put this on, be careful, alright? It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, what you look like. It is never a good idea to have a gun or a replica, because this is technically a toy. We do exercise gun safety. I always advocate for gun safety when playing with airsoft rifles. It is not safe to have a gun replica that looks like a gun and just have it out. All right, like don't have it in the backseat of your car when you're driving, even though that's legal, even though there's nothing wrong with it per rule of law. You don't want to be dead or get hurt or get into an altercation because of someone's bad day or someone's jumpy finger. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Gonna leave it at that. But yeah, put this on of your own volition. If you like the accuracy, put it on. But if you like the accuracy, then you have to treat it with accuracy. You have to carry it in gun bags. Lock it up. This hand stop right here. Here, I'm gonna actually unbag it so that I can get a better look at it. It comes with a little Allen key. One thing I did notice, I didn't get an Allen key in box. At least I don't think I got an Allen key in box that would fit the Allen key for this. So to put the battery in, I had to completely take off the stock. Not that big of an issue. Just like maybe 2% more effort. Actually, less effort if the stock is permanent or affixed with a bolt. So, you know, not much more effort. Because of the CTR stock, it does come with another stock variant where you can put like nunchuck batteries. But because of this stock variant, I do use a stick type LiPo in it. So, yeah, I'm gonna open up this this Allen key and test if it actually works on the stock, because my eyeballs are having trouble with the diameter. God damn, it's giving me an issue. Okay. Alright, so this is the Allen key. Let's see. It is actually, ooh, yeah, it is actually too big for the stock bolts. So that is interesting. You would have to have an Allen key if you wanted to take the butt off of the stock. But yeah, that is my full and complete review of this gun. Do I recommend it at $200 when you can get one? Absolutely. Absolutely get one of these, especially if you don't have an airsoft gun of its level. You don't have, like, I'm talking to people who don't have an upgraded SEMA plat lying around. I recommend this for anyone who doesn't have like an AEG, like maybe they have a cyber gun, maybe they have a Specna, a Lancer, right? So I recommend this as someone's like first or, ooh, holy shit. Hold on. The motor. Those are some good neodymiums in there. That is a strong neodymium magnet. Fuck, that's good, nice. Okay, yeah. I think the thing said it was a 22 TPA high torque motor, which is similar to the motors that you would find in SIMA plats. But my SIMA plats don't do this. No, this is more indicative of like the type of motors that I upgrade, like my Paragon type motors. Like this feels like as if I had a 16 TPA Paragon motor. But yeah, no, getting sidetracked by that aside, I do recommend this gun if it is your first or second gun. If you already deep dove into your gun's internals, you upgraded a AEG and all of its aspects, right? You already put a new hopper in there. Oh yeah, and that's another thing with this gun. It's pretty much perfect out of box, I would say, which is kind of crazy. The first upgrade I would do if you're a new airsofter, stop using these. Start using something like this. Like that is literally the first. That's not a one. But that is literally the first upgrade. Use heavier BBs because this hopper can handle it. That might actually be another thing that caused the variance. I might need to adjust the hop for a heavier BB, but yeah, use heavier BBs because internally there's not much you can do to this gearbox to make it better. You could go lower on the gear ratio. That would make it a high stress build. I don't recommend that unless you have experience in a gearbox. You could turn it into a DSG. Again, really don't recommend that unless you have a experience with a gearbox. But the only thing that I can say for this gun is, depending on where you live, right, the Joule limits of your field, different spring maybe. Just $10 for a mainspring. I wouldn't change the hopper. It's a rotary hopper, and what I've learned from teching on many of my guns is keep the plastic hop unit if it holds a hop. If it's not holding a hop, then change it. Maybe get a nice little shiny CNC'd hop unit, but like I would actually recommend against max hop units. They're really finicky. So if you get a CNC unit, get like the Matrix CNC unit. That one was actually really nice. But yeah, like Max, the BB retention system makes mag compatibility a bitch and a half. So but it kind of stacks with your receiver tolerance. So it depends on what you're putting your max in. But they're nice units when you get it to fit right. But if it doesn't fit right and you don't really know until you try, yeah, it will be a bitch. So yeah, don't upgrade this rotary hop unless you know that it isn't holding a hop the way you like with the BB weight you use. You might want to go tighter bore barrel. I can't remember if they put a 6.1 in here. I feel like they would have. That just feels like something they would have done. But don't check me on that with the specs. They have the full specs of this gun on their website, Maple Airsoft Supply. But yeah, this is the Maple Armouries Marauder, and fuck it, 10 out of 10.